Hello and welcome to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. I'm Silver,
I'm chaotic.
and this is a normal episode this week. Well, maybe. No, there's nothing ever normal.
No, there's nothing ever normal about this. Ever.
But last week was the special week. We released our Smasher Pass event.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys all enjoyed it and get a chance to go check out our lovely travelers that played with us.
Yes.
Chaotic's over there falling asleep.
Already. No rat behavior here. This is a no rat zone.
No rat zone?
No rat
That,
zone. Wow, imagine it being pinned to me. You hate it here.
For those of you who don't know, as in this is an audio format, that Chaotic is in VTuber form, like they
and
were
having
in,
way fun.
like they were during the stream, and she is currently playing with some stuff. Now,
It's a
just
no rat coffee.
it looks like your coffee is just rat poison now.
Well, maybe it is. You never know. You never know. Maybe today I'm drinking some rat poison.
That is ill advised.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't listen to me.
Going back to you being sleepy, something that'll help wake you up would be today's monster.
Yeah, well, I don't know that he'd wake me up, but
I'm sure he would do something.
I mean, as loud as he is, for sure.
Would you like to tell our listeners who the monster is?
Yes, today we are discussing Siren Head.
Siren Head
Yeah?
is a new monster.
Yeah.
How new do you think Siren Head is?
How new do I think he is?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so what new are we talking? Like creation or supposed first sighting?
Creation.
I don't know creation date. I know his supposed first sighting, but I don't know creation.
Okay. What's your best approximated guess when Siren Head came out?
2018.
Well, that is 100% correct.
What? It just felt like the right year. I was between that and 2016, so I'm glad I chose the first instinct.
Siren Head is a monster who was created in 2018 by the artist named Trevor Henderson.
Yes, Canadian artist.
Yes. I actually listened to an interview with him in it. He actually thought up Siren Head back in 2018 while working at one of his retail jobs.
Mm-hmm.
And he got the idea from like the ghost radio waves.
Mm,
Have you heard of those?
interesting. I have not. Please
So
explain.
in the air right now,
Uh-huh.
you can pick up ghost radio waves from a long time ago. So
Okay.
if you have an antenna up, you can pick up these radio signals sending out just random numbers. And
Okay.
it's then they're on repeat of like adults saying these numbers, and there's some of children saying these numbers.
Why?
It was an old war broadcasting,
Creepy.
and that is a theory. Another theory is that it's just amateur radioists.
Right.
A lot of people seem to think it's more of the wartime ones, and they're still up in the air and still running for spies, certain spies to decode them. That's how he came up with the idea: is what if these codes, these radio waves, were personified or phenomenized?
Uh-huh.
And he came up with radio or Siren Head. That was back in 2018. Siren Head didn't gain a lot of popularity until like 2020 when a Siren Head video game came out
Mm-hmm.
by, I think it's Modus Interactive.
Oh yes.
I guess Modus Interactive contacted Trevor, and he said that they could use uh, Siren Head in the game.
Huh.
Yeah, and then in 2020, Markiplier,
Markiplier. All right, time to rebrand.
Markiplier. I
Markiplier.
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
You
listen
never
to
heard of Markiplier?
that.
Oh my god.
I've heard
Moving
the
on.
name several times, but I've
Oh
never actually
Jesus.
watched any of his stuff.
Oh my god. All
Like,
right, it's time to start a podcast petition for Silver
what? What's the petition for?
to make you start watching things.
Uh, and Jacksepticeye.
Yes.
And there is another person as well who made, I don't remember his name. I forgot to put it down. But he
Mm-hmm.
started making he made a very famous TikTok about Siren Head in 2020, about the same time that those guys were playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the TikTok got like 13 million views.
Yeah, is it the one where it looked like Siren Head was walking across the screen?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, where they're like up on like the wall and Siren Head stomping by.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's pretty cool.
So that's pretty much the start of Siren Head, how he got created. Do you know his physical description?
I do. Do you want me to just dive into that?
If you want to.
So a lot of people describe him as being like a telephone pole height, like old telephone poles. So he's described to be like 40 feet in height. He has his sirens. Sometimes there's one. Sometimes there's two. Sometimes he's a lamppost. There's theories that he has subclasses, which Trevor has confirmed all of the subclasses are dead. He's like the last remaining like kind. And that he answered a Twitter post. So somebody asked on Twitter, how in earlier ages was he appearing with 80s and 90s sirens on his head if he didn't know what they looked like. And Trevor confirmed that it's likely that he adapts to the time, like the time frame and like the radio waves and what they would look like to be emitted in those time frames. He has like this gaunt bone corpse looking exterior. It's like mummified skin on top of bones.
Oh, like
And
jerky.
yeah, okay. Anyways, we're gonna move past that. Like that didn't just happen. Um, and then Trevor has recently been looking to like redraw his insides, like their cassette tapes and like uncoiled cassette tapes, like the film. You know what I'm talking
Mhm.
about? Like the stuff that's in it.
Yeah, the
Um,
reels.
yeah, like the reels. So he's gonna make it so his inside. That's basically like the memories. So like he keeps like people's recorded voices because he can mimic other people's voices. So he like keeps the recorded voices and stuff on there. So those are like his internals. But the speakers are like infused like into the neck. So he's got like basically a severed head essentially. He has wires that snake up around him and like go all the way around like his shoulders and his sides and like his neck from his ribs. He has really, really long arms, like inhuman length arms. So they're like really, really long and bony. And he doesn't have eyeballs, but supposedly can still see. In some versions of him, the inside of his sirens have teeth in them. So that is most of his appearance.
Are they like a jaw teeth, or are they like teeth all the way around the cone, like a meat grinder?
I think it's like lipless. Like if you can imagine like a human without lips.
Ah, yeah. Okay.
So like that. And then he is supposedly in those depictions he has like a tongue that comes out too. It's like a snake tongue that can come out, but the teeth are only visible like during very particular frequencies.
The frequencies that require teeth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Siren Head is also known to be somewhat of a predator. He likes to go hunting for people.
Yeah. But he's not a classic predator because he doesn't eat. He just kind of
Maybe,
fucks you up.
yeah. Uh, he's a nocturnal predator.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen that he only hunts at night
Mm-hmm.
and that he actually does sleep during the day.
Yeah, and he emits a white noise while sleeping.
Okay, that's what white noise.
Uh huh.
What is white noise? Is that like the
So
buzzing or is that
do you
like bird
remember?
noise?
Do you remember old TVs before flat screens when the channel wasn't there and it was just like the gray and black fuzzy noise?
Yeah, kind of like static.
Yeah, that's what white noise is.
Ah, you'd think that'd be very noticeable in a forest.
It would be, except for I'm sure he emits it at low volumes. So it's probably more like you would just like in the background kind of be like, because especially like if you're walking into the area, it would slowly become something. It's not like you're just walking up on some white noise. I'd imagine you'd have to get really close to him to understand what it is you're hearing, and then at that point you're screwed.
Hmm. Do you think he sleeps standing up so he kind of
I think so
blends in
because
with the trees?
yeah, that's like his whole shtick is to blend in. So I bet he does sleep standing up
You
because
know,
he's not
funny.
like human. What?
Yeah, if he vibrates and he sinks down into the earth, so just his neck and the sirens are remaining.
That'd be creepy. That'd be terrifying.
You're
Imagine
just
just
walking through the
walking up on big
forest.
ass sirens.
Yeah, there is sirens in the woods for like fire alarms and stuff
Yeah,
for
but not like
wildfires.
that. Not buried in the earth and huge. This man's 40 feet tall.
So his neck would probably be like 10 feet sticking up above the ground.
Oh my god, no,
It'd be
absolutely
like
not.
camp sirens.
Oh, you were like neck and all tree like.
Yeah.
I was thinking he was like down to the sirens,
Oh
like they
no,
were on the ground. I see where
that
you're
would be
going with it.
worse. Yeah.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it.
Then as you walk over top of him, wake him up, he just starts emerging from the ground. Throw him in Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, no kidding. No, because Jason be pissed. Jason be like, "Get out of here, bro. Fuck
Jason
out of
versus
here."
Siren Head.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, Siren Head would win, but Jason would still be upset. He'd be like, "I was here first, dude. Know why you gotta act like that?"
Oh. Well, camps do provide Siren Head with his preferred victims.
Yeah.
He likes to, his preferred victims are lost travelers, hikers, and children.
Oh, love that. Great.
And
Such a good time.
you kind of mentioned earlier that they can copy their victims' sounds.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of his preferred hunting methods.
Yeah. He like gets the friends to split up, and then
Mhm.
after they're split up, he makes the sounds of the other friends to lure the other people.
Keep separating them further and further just so they can. How do, how does he kill or unalive the victims? Does he just squish them with his hands, or does he eat them?
No. Most victims are found with their eyes and ears busted from frequency. So most of them are like bleeding everywhere from their face, like nostrils, eyes, ears.
He must use like a sound weapon because he's a
Yeah,
siren.
that's what, and I think that's what most of the facts that I read up on said. That is, it's usually like a head burst from frequency.
Huh. I guess certain number of hertz does incapacitate you.
Well, and at that size,
True.
like especially if he picks you up and like puts you beside his siren, he could probably like like it's a big thing in rock. They're like, oh, that song melted my face off because they're like rocking so hard. I bet he
Yeah.
could actually do that.
Yeah, because if he's 40 foot tall and
Mm-hmm.
the retrospective size of the siren would have to be 5 foot tall, 6 foot tall.
Yeah, at least, because those things are huge. They are not proportionate to him.
Yeah.
It's not like they're like a normal head to him. They're huge. So I bet if he put you up to the mouth of one of those and just blasted some shit, you would shed, Stan.
So Yeah, that would definitely hurt.
It's also said that he uses a tactic that allows the sounds that he's making to drown out the cries for help so that his victims don't have any assistance.
Uh, I think I've
So
seen
they're
that
just,
in like anime one
yeah.
time, where they just like the same sound waves cancel out. I seen he also has the ability to play his noises across other electronic devices.
Yeah, he can scramble nearby electronic devices. The
Mhm.
issue is, and this is like, it's like controversial because some people have like, there's been a sighting of him like in the middle of a street before, like in Indiana. But a lot
Yeah.
of people say he doesn't like he won't go to heavily populated areas like cities and stuff. He prefers rural areas. But could you imagine what he would do in a city where he could control all of the waves?
Oh, a lot of damage. So
A
maybe
lot
he's
of
not
damage.
like he's not out to just kill. Maybe he gets something from the kills.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't say he feeds or anything. Like he doesn't. He is unnaturally like he I don't know. He's not a predator in the actual sense. Like he's
Mm.
very he's just
He's
killing. Like I don't know if maybe it's like a soul
Cthulhuish.
thing. Yeah, like maybe he just kills because then they like are a sacrifice to him or
Mhm.
something. But he doesn't like feed.
Maybe he kills to just not be seen because it seems like everybody
Mm-hmm.
that's seen him is usually who dies.
Yeah.
Because I even Trevor says has said at a point that I've seen that uh, Siren Head is a unfathomable
Mm-hmm.
supernatural entity.
Yeah.
Well, would you like to go on to sightings?
Yeah.
I know we talked a little bit. I just found this one sighting. I think it might have been in regards to his first photo.
Is it the one in Arizona?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's his first ever sighting. It's at a graveyard. And the couple, the woman saw him move out of the trees, and he started yelling the ghost frequency numbers and stuff at him and like random words.
Hmm.
And was just charging at her. That was the first sighting was 1966.
Another sighting I seen was 20 years after that and
Yep.
30 years after that.
No, 20,
19,
1995, right?
it's 30 though.
It is
95
30.
and
I don't know why this information is broken, but yeah, it's 30.
there was a guy named Chad and his friends. They were walking in the woods and they found Siren Head. And like you said before, Chad and his friends ended up getting separated, and Siren Head used his voice in order to lure them, and uh, they either got taken or killed by Siren Head. Chad was the only one left with just some injuries.
Yeah, and just like, could you imagine just hearing your friends all around you, just everywhere, like different streams of pain from different directions? Because it's also said that Siren Head moves eerily silent, like he doesn't make any noise. So he could just be anywhere at any time, projecting these voices around you. You thinking it's your friend, you're trying to run a different
Yeah,
way. You could get so lost. It could be so dangerous. So imagine just escaping with a couple of cuts and some bruises. How traumatizing.
definitely traumatizing. Just that you go missing, and no one would probably believe you either.
Yeah, no, they probably wouldn't.
Do you got more?
Uh, I don't know. So he has his strength, his heightened strength, is very, very powerful. He can basically break trees, and heavy objects like anytime he wants. He can also kidnap an entire family of 4 in one sweep of his hand. One sweep,
This
whole family.
seems very specific.
It is very specific. He has enhanced speed. So because he's a shapeshifter in some ways, like he can be a street lamp and or a siren or whatever, he is also able to basically shrink himself and appear to be like a comm system on top of a house or wires going over a house. He's been seen pretending to be like pipes and furnishing inside of houses. That is apparently how he captured a couple of families in Detroit.
Huh.
Um, the only sign of disappearance was their backyard patio door being open. And he's able to just like sneak up in there and just whatever. It is Trevor did confirm that he is able to remove his head and contort himself. And a really creepy fact is that he can his sirens on the top of his head, he can make them into smaller siren heads. So he
Oh,
can
that's
remove
creepy.
he can remove his sirens and make them smaller siren heads.
Is that how he reproduces? Maybe.
Yeah, he doesn't really reproduce. I think that the Trevor's not really confirmed how there's been more of them. I don't know if there's like if they're reproduced or if it's more like a god species where they just kind of like appear. You know what I mean?
That
Um,
sounds most accurate.
yeah, but yeah, he's able to turn them into like little mini mummified corpses with sirens. Um, I think I think that's it. Oh, one thing. So the TikTok that was filmed, right? He's like big and stomping, like he's moving across the screen.
Yeah,
One of the things that Trevor said was when he pictures Siren Head moving, it's like a stop motion picture, which makes him more terrifying to me
that's kind of
because he
creepy.
yeah, that means he moves in like increments that have to be like mortifying coming at you at that size. So he looks like Jack the Skellington times a billion with sirens on his head, just coming right at you, walking like a claymation. That's terrifying. A group of siren heads. So like if there was more, like if they're all running around together, they're
Yeah.
called a static. A siren head could also take out a standard USA military issued tank with a baseball bat. So like if he had a
How big
bat,
of a baseball bat would that have to be?
it would have to be like a building sized baseball bat, I'd imagine.
Uh, uh,
Because if he's a telephone pole, well, maybe I guess
yeah,
half of a telephone pole, maybe. Because your baseball bat's not as big as you.
yeah.
But it would have to be like, yeah. But he could like, I'd imagine he could
I could
probably
see
just
that.
swat it because he
Yeah,
has like inhuman strength, so he could probably just swat the tank. But
it'd be like Godzilla hitting one. Pow.
yeah,
Uh,
um, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I think the most terrifying thing for me was that almost all of his victims, um, the only reason that we know or suspect that he was involved was because there's literally no trace of them.
mhm.
Literally no trace. The only people that have been able to speak out are like victims' families and stuff. And then he also tends to just kind of leave corpses around to get other people to be like, what's going on here? So
Why are they bleeding from all the holes?
yeah, and then he's like, oh hey, surprise, you too. So yeah, that's all I had really, but there was just a few extra little things that I had found.
Just some more little media things that there is plenty of videos and amateur filmmakers on YouTube
Mm-hmm.
that have posted Siren Head content.
Oh.
There's also TikToks. And if you want more work from Trevor,
Mm-hmm.
he's also got his Twitter is very active. He's got
Mm-hmm.
a very active Siren Head Twitter where he answers a lot of the lore and makes up more canon there.
Yep.
I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. I know one of his horror Twitters that he has is Slimy Swamp Ghost.
Uh-huh.
And he also just made a scholastic children's book called Scare Waves. The creature on the front cover looks terrifying. A lot of teeth. Now on to everybody's favorite part,
What's our favorite part?
mayhem.
Mayhem. Um. So obviously, before we like go into like where he belongs in our school of fuckery,
Mhm.
um, he's dangerous. Period.
Yes.
Point blank. His mayhem level is up there. Imagine if he got all over his anxiety of cities and started coming into cities, using radio waves that reach the world. Uh, he'd be a terrifying entity. There's not much that you could do to counter him either. It's not there's no weakness known. The only thing that gives us an inclination that he has a weakness is that he has the ability to block out sounds and like try not to have other people hear the like distress of others. So that makes us believe that either there's A, something bigger than him that can hunt him, or B, he has a weakness. We've just not revealed it yet on how we can kill him.
Yeah.
So because he does have prey like defensiveness when eating his meals. So that's the only reason that we know that he possibly could have something to hurt him. Other than that, we have no idea. He's completely unkillable. So he is terrifying on the mayhem scale.
Mm. And another bad thing is with the amount of growth the human species has, a lot
Mm,
of things are losing their natural habitat. So we're
yeah.
pushing more and more into Siren Head's territory.
Yep.
Save the trees, prevent Siren Head rampage.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
In the school setting,
Uh
where do you think he's? I got an idea where I would place him at.
huh. He's definitely head of the AV club. He's definitely head of the AV club.
That is very fitting. Not where I was thinking,
Where were you
but
thinking?
I was thinking to set him up as the PA system.
I was okay. So my first thought was, like obviously before we were in high school. So it would have been like when we were in elementary school. You remember how high schoolers? You may not, maybe not here. It might just be a bigger city thing. But there was always like one or two kids who were like allowed to do the morning announcements. Like they were, they got to speak over the PA system. He'd be one of them. He'd
Yeah,
also be the PA system. But I went with AV Club because that's just all of the waves. He's messing with the computers. He could do the PA system. He could help the principal with computer stuff and like get all those waves, the
yeah.
radios. So
Plus,
he's
he's made the
just
cassette tapes.
yeah. So that's just where I went.
That's more fitting than mine. I see. Because
I
if
mean,
he
he
if
is
he
the PA system. You're right.
yeah,
Walking around going, get to class.
mhm. Hall monitor
Oh God, no,
finds kids
no.
sleeping. Wake
Zeus
up,
Zeus is the class president, hall monitor, motherfucker. He's just the. He'd be a good camp counselor.
Zeus or Siren Head.
Siren Head. No, we're not letting Zeus in any camp.
I mean, besides his habit of eating children, unless they're monster children.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't mind if it's a monster school.
Uh-huh.
Plus, I don't think anybody there is falling for his shit. Maybe the Kappas.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Uh, do you think the musical monsters like the Fossagrim would hook up like an electric fiddle to him?
That would be hilarious. They're like,
He's
stand
in a
still, hang
band.
on. Yeah, he is the he has to attend all band performances so that they can use his sirens, like his speakers. They're like, we really just want to amp this up.
What would be a good band name for something with a siren in it?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'm so bad at that. You'd think I'd be good at it. Yeah, give us some good band names. Some good Siren Head band names. Give us the band names and tell us who all's in the band. I want to know who all's in the band.
Who's your monster band pick?
Yeah, of the people we've done, you can't choose anybody new. Don't cheat.
We have done a couple fancy.
We have, we have.
Anyways,
Anyways,
that's all for today's episode. Unless Chaos got more mayhem or
I do not. If you guys see Siren Head, run away. That's my only advice. Just get out of there. Don't listen to the noises around you. Just run.
Best bet's probably get into the car.
That has a radio in it, Silver. It's probably not a great
Uh,
idea.
that is true.
Hop on a
Motorcycle.
bike. Pedal your way out.
Stop and throw on some rollerblades.
Yeah, zooming. Be like, please,
Uh,
sir, hold on. You can't crush me. I had to put these blades on. They're sick.
if you're going to do me, wait till I get stylish. Well, I guess we'll thank our patrons,
Yeah.
which is Mondi, Ruby, and Mage. I haven't
Yeah.
forgot. With that, any chaotic news?
By the time y'all hear this, Chaotic will have done an Ash to Erie 1 run on Friday the 13th for DBD. Please send your best regards. I'm probably dead. I'm
You have
probably
reached
dead.
Erie 0.
Yeah, I'm gonna cry a little bit, die a little bit.
And as in other Mythic Gates news, hopefully by the end of the month, we will have our second podcast edited and uploaded, at least the first episode.
Yeah, let's go.
I am slowly working on it.
It's a little harder. They're much longer in length.
It shall be a Monster of the Week actual play podcast.
Let's go. I'm excited. If
The
Mondi
player
would get you
is
a fucking description,
yes.
Mondi, when you listen to this episode, I hope you hear me yelling at you because I know damn well by the time you listen to this episode, you still have not turned in those appearances. We're going to get in there Sunday and you're going to be like, oh, I forgot again. And I'm going to yell at you again. And by the time this rolls around on Wednesday, you're still going to have forgot. So, Mondi, get your character descriptions in. Thanks.
our Our players
Yeah.
are Chaotic, Mondi, and Bird,
And Super Mage.
and Super Mage.
Mondi's just the problem right now.
Yes. He's currently 2 weeks late.
he's behind. Listen, even Super Mage got the character description in. Mondi has no excuse. Zero
I even
excuse.
asked him a week before I asked you guys.
Wow. Talk Mondi? Get the character description in.
It's going to be fun. Continuing on.
Uh-huh.
Chaotic with the outro?
I got it. I'm sorry. I am a sleepy girl. Thank you for listening to Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. That's not how that goes. Please hold on. Thank you for listening to the Monsters, Myths, and Mayhem podcast. Silver and Chaotic take you into the depth of the lore and discuss how these legends could affect modern-day society. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or almost any podcast service easiest to you. Dive into the depths of chaos with us every Wednesday, bar Silver and Chaotic not missing their scheduling, and consider joining the podcast Discord or Twitter, following even more insider looks and even some D&D sessions. If you'd like some extra special inside looks or even want to be a guest on the show, consider helping us via Patreon. Your help makes such a big difference to us both. Until next time, Mythics, you never know what kind of mayhem we might get into.